News of the day. I want to start this off by just letting people know Black Friday was yesterday. There's a Black Friday sale going on. I've advertised for bench clearers before. They make the hockey tanks, so they look like jerseys. They're tank tops. Now I understand it's December, so if your opinion is, well, why would I want to do? Because right now they have 35% off site wide, and so jersey tank tops which are normally 59 are now 39. So in the description below this video, you'll see a link to the sale, the promo, and again, it's worthy of note for Black Friday sales. There are some going on, and since tomorrow is the first, I've also included in the description for this video and videos going forward that the Elite Prospects sign up, where if you register and if you use the code THG25, which again is mentioned in the description, you get 25% off your first 3 months with Elite Prospects. So if you feel like, I don't know what to get somebody for Christmas, you can get them a membership to Elite Prospects. And while you're on your way, you can get them a nice little tank top. I do have a couple of them. I don't wear them in this weather because right now outside it's stupid. Now I understand the rest of Canada. I'm not going to talk about the temperature because the rest of Canada is going to go, oh, poor baby. But again, it's all about climate. What we're used to and what we're not. It's sort of like when you go down to California and it's nice out and you're wearing shorts and t-shirt and you look around and you go, wow, everybody else is wearing winter coats. Interesting. So let's get on to the news of the day. Eric Comrie is now a member of the Detroit Red Wings. Vili Sarajärvi is a member of the Arizona Coyotes. It's a minor deal, but you know what? Minor deals are important too. And for Comrie, this means he'll get to play some actual games, or at least be dressed as a backup. So with Howard being injured, and of course Bernier's status being mysterious and whatnot, and then Pickard's numbers not being very good out of last night's game, not that any goaltender for Detroit can put up good numbers behind that defense, Comrie has a chance to play. And for Sarajärvi, normally we'd look at this and go, well, he was a third rounder in 2015. 1 assist in the AHL this year may not be a big deal. I've learned with John Chayka, they're usually a little better than you might expect. And not only that, they did what the Jets couldn't. They turned Comrie into an asset. So the Arizona Coyotes win in this one. They pick a guy up on waivers, and a month and a half later, they turn him into something. So good job for Arizona. That's good asset management. And we'll see if Sarajärvi at some point gets a call-up or what happens with his AHL development from here. Now, this is where the headline's going to be out of this and out of this weekend in general. Pierre LeBrun is reporting that the New Jersey Devils are listening to offers on Taylor Hall. We'll come back to that. So teams are making offers, and while the Devils aren't actively shopping him, they are listening to said offers. Meanwhile, Brad Marchand stuck his foot in his mouth. I know you'll be shocked by that, but he was talking about concussion spotters pulling him out late in a game that was 2-1. And I get why he was upset, but at the same time, concussion spotters have a difficult job, and they do the best they can, and it looks bad if the players are going to come out and start attacking the guys who are just looking out for their health and safety. It's not like they're saying, oh, I really hope the Bruins don't win this game quick. Get Marchand out of there. I don't know, get Pasternak out of there too. It's not what happens. So he has apologized to the concussion spotters afterwards. Apologized on Twitter. So this is a step forward for Marchand. Apologies being as they are. He doesn't offer them often. So it may very well be that he was told by somebody to apologize. I'm not saying that he was, but that is a possibility. And he said that he was fine. He took an elbow to the face, but he was okay. But again, you've got to at least get somebody into that quiet room, into that at least being looked at, and make sure that they're okay. So yeah, for Marchand, he was upset at the time. He may very well still be upset, but he's making peace with it. So the Bruins doing pretty well, tied for first overall with 1 game in hand on the Capitals. And they play against the Montreal Canadiens again pretty darn soon. Now, Toronto, bless the Toronto media. We're already talking about the backup in Toronto. Yeah, Hutchinson's had 1 game since he came back. By all means, let's just pile on him. And you can pick apart goals he allowed against Buffalo last night. That's fine. Matthews played 24 minutes and 48 seconds last night. That's a career high for him. He didn't have any points, so I haven't seen anybody picking that apart. But we do have a coach now that's playing him. That's what the fans have wanted. When Mitch Marner comes back, we may very well see him playing with Austin Matthews, which is also something fans have wanted, and something Matthews and Marner have wanted, is to play together. But the backup talk is weird because we have a Montreal game on where Keith Kincaid's in net as the backup. And I haven't heard anybody saying Montreal needs to move on from Kincaid, even though Kincaid's save percentage coming in today is .877. It's not setting the world on fire, and Price definitely needs to have a good backup. It's one of those things where the media will throw it out there. I think that Hutchinson was absolutely misused, and I talked about that in a video last week before Babcock was fired. I felt that Hutchinson was being misused in where he was being played and who he was being played against. Last night, I think, was an improvement on that. I think that he deserves a chance to at least show that he can start once every 8 or 10 days. He's not going to start a lot. And if the backup position is a problem, if we see 2 or 3 starts where it's an issue beyond this one, then the heat's on Kyle Dubas. But I really, honestly, the opinion that I've had of it the whole way through is I don't think Kyle Dubas sees backup goaltender as a really important position. That's why he let go of McElhinney. That's why he let go of Sparks. That's why they've got Hutchinson, a guy who's cleared waivers multiple times. I don't think he thinks that the backup goaltending position is all that important. It's just an opinion I have of it, just based on how he's managed it. Rust's status in Pittsburgh still unknown. He took a tumble yesterday that caused him to be a scratch. They're not saying very much, just lower body. And so we're not sure if it's going to be short term, maybe a day or two, maybe he plays their next game. We'll see what happens with Rust, but it is concerning because he has been so important to them when he's played. And Rust's one of my favorite players in Pittsburgh too. So in general, it would be nice to see Pittsburgh stop getting injuries at the level that they've been getting them this year. It's absolutely insane. The last topic I wanted to talk about kind of circles back to the Taylor Hall talk. So there's a lot of speculation about whether or not Johnny Hockey is going to end up being out of Calgary. Now, I watched the New Jersey Rangers game. We will talk about that when I review the matinee games later in the afternoon. And the Devils looked miserably bad. And their power play was absolutely awful. Now, Taylor Hall is part of the issue with New Jersey. He's not scoring goals the way that Taylor Hall can. He's never going to be a 40-50 goal scorer, that's clear. But he should at least be on the pace for 30, and right now he has 4. New Jersey's been a complete and total mess. Now, one thing that I've seen, and I find this completely weird, is speculation of, well, what if Calgary makes Gaudreau available? They bring in Taylor Hall, and they move Gaudreau. You're going to have to give up a large amount of assets to get Hall. Do you recoup them getting rid of Gaudreau? Gaudreau's younger than Hall. Gaudreau's numbers are just as good as Hall's right now. And his contract is much better than whatever Taylor Hall is going to command in July. Taylor Hall's a guy I look at right now and I say, you know what, if somebody gives him 8 years, I think they'll regret it. And I think they'll regret it not because he's not a good player, but because if you're expecting that Hart Trophy winner from a couple years back, I don't know that he's that right now. I think he had a career year a couple years back. He was absolutely fantastic. He dragged New Jersey into the playoffs. He was a great story, but it was a story. And I think that Taylor Hall is a guy who can score you around a point a game. I think he's, a decent 25 to 30 goal player. I think he can hit 35. I think he can threaten 40. I do think that he has a lot of parts of his game that make him a very, very attractive player to pick up for your franchise. But you have to be very careful. And for Calgary, who are still eyeing up a playoff spot, trading Gaudreau and bringing in Hall, with the track record of teams that Hall's played on getting to the playoffs, or should I say not getting to the playoffs, and this is on the heels of trading James Neal and bringing in Milan Lucic, who, as much as Lucic has given them the physicality they didn't have before, those 14 goals Neil has would probably be a little more important if he was playing in Calgary. Now, he wouldn't have that many goals playing in Calgary, but my point still stands. You don't want to continue to trade and potentially trade down the standings. And so the Flames are in an interesting position, and I think any and all speculation about Johnny Gaudreau is ridiculous. But I do think it'll pick up, especially if the Flames don't get their game together over the next, I'll say, 4 to 6 weeks. If 6 weeks from now they're still outside of a playoff spot, meandering, playing mediocre hockey, we will hear more and more speculation about Johnny Gaudreau, and it's going to be ridiculous. But I will be here to report it, and I'd be interested to know what you guys think about it. If you're a Flames fan, do you think there's any chance of Johnny Hockey leaving? But I think the real question for the Flames is, who actually is a player they should look at moving? Is it Frolik? Is it Hamonic? Who is it that they should look at moving rather than Johnny Hockey? Because I can't see him going anywhere. And for Hall, who ends up making the big offer? And if you're going to say Edmonton, why in the world would Edmonton do that when they're first in the division? Why? You just no. I can't see it helping Edmonton either. I think that would be absolutely terrible. But again, it's worthy for a debate. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for your support. I will talk to you again soon.